Hi, I'm Debbie Dupree, and I'm the School Library Media Specialist at Wake Young Women's Leadership Academy.
Hi, and I'm Mary Clay Vick. I'm the Instructional Technology Facilitator at Wake Young Women's Leadership Academy.
And we are the instructional leaders for the INES Club here at Wyvilla, which meets on Tuesday after school, and we have a large group of girls that come from all grade levels between 6th and I think we have a couple high schoolers, but mostly 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
Yeah, I didn't know about Hummingbird and robotics before because I wasn't really into this, but I did it and now it's really fun.
The project in specific is a Hummingbird project that the students started to learn coding in January, and they practiced with a couple of scratch activities, and then we built on those successes, and they were able to start integrating Hummingbird robotics with the coding that they were doing.
He's really complicated on the inside.
Yeah, he's a little
He's
chaotic in the back. Okay. Now he's working, but yeah, that's the back. And this is our Hummingbird board. And it takes a lot of precision to build something like this because, okay, yeah, let me turn this off.
Yeah, like it takes a lot to put the wires in, you put the LEDs in, you put everything in, and if you put it in wrong, then you have to take it out and do the whole process over again.
Yeah.
And they created little small robots that are enabled either by sound or motion detection, and then the robots make some noise or move or do something like that.
Narwhals, narwhals, swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, 'cause they are so wild. Remember, kids, always put your trash in the trash can. Otherwise, us narwhals are gonna eat it and we're gonna die.
Of the projects that the girls did, we had several that were selected from the group, by the group, and those girls went and presented at the recent NC Ties conference held here in Raleigh.
Inside we have a few wires. This wire right here connects to it's like a motherboard, I guess, and it connects to a Hummingbird system, and this is a tri-LED light, so it'll light up if it's activated.
Well, the benefits, number one, is for them to have an audience other than their teachers and their other friends in the club. And the audience was fabulous because it was, of course, members of NC Ties, teachers from all over, instructors, that they actually got to explain what they had done when creating their robots.
We used some coding, and we did have some trials and errors because we used a servo to move the narwhal, and the servo, we were trying to move it at certain angles, and it didn't work until we finally got it to the right point we wanted.
And so they had the experience of presenting themselves in front of an audience of, sometimes it would just be one-on-one, and then again they'd have a little group of, other students from other schools would come up to them, and they would ask questions. So they had to learn how to respond to adults and other kids. They had to be able to verbalize what they had been working on.
It was a little bit confusing though to use Hummingbird at first because I've never used Hummingbird and I didn't know how it worked, but I did a lot. In the end, now I can say that I learned a lot of how to program it and how to make everything work and how to get the good angles.
Because they did work in teams, they showed that they had the ability to problem solve with someone else. And they had a lot of problems at times, so they had to figure that out. So we saw a lot of not just building the robot, but how to work as a team, all the skills that go along with that.
Something that I learned from this was sort of how to put in like the chords, because all of the servos, like these servos and the motion and sound detecting servos, all are locked up into this little kind of motherboard kind of thing. And so you have to use like a certain tool. It's like this little orange like chip thing that helps put these wires into these little blocks right here.
These are our youngest owls here at Wake Young Women's, and they were selected by their peers as to who would be presenting at the conference.
So Pikachu is he has a sound detector and a motion detector, and when he senses any of that, he'll make a sound. He'll move his arms.
Pika, 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 Pikachu. Pika, 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 Pikachu. Pika, 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 Pikachu.